But no, I talk about that sometimes, and I like to talk about it because I think there's a lot to it. There are two things I believe in this world, and I'm probably going to say about 7 things because I'll think about more along the way. I haven't even heard of it, Sick Kid. Have not heard of it. I think 1, you are in control of your life. If you are unhappy, you have the power to change that. As powerless as you might feel. And I think 2, you can be as happy as you want to be. And that is dependent upon happiness is a state of mind, exactly. And that is dependent upon your willingness to put in the effort to be happy. Those are the 2 things that I have found. And a lot of that, once again, comes down to just fake it till you make it. It's honestly one of the truest things that I have found in my life when I was sad was just not sitting there and continuing with sad thoughts and sad feelings and sad emotions and everything there, but shifting it around and saying, you know, today I'm going to be positive instead. Today I'm going to go on a fun trip. And you know what? I would go on the fun trip and I wouldn't have a lot of fun on the fun trip because I was so sad. But then I would get home and I'd think about it. I'd think about all the fun things I did, and it would have been like, yeah, okay, maybe that was a little bit fun. And then as I kept going on fun trips and things like that, I would start to see more and more that, the more I do fun things and the more that I try and be a positive person and smile and not curse and not get angry and all these things, the better life is. Like, the more fun things are and the more positive I am, and it just goes right. It's just like when you get, you know, it's like a spiraling down staircase. Going up is the same way. A slippery slope, but in the reverse direction, going up. Did I really struggle with not being happy for some time? For sure. For sure. A vicious cycle, yes. Like attracts like. It is. It is. Positive mentality goes a long way, but it's much easier said than done. It's true. It's not easy. And once again, this is why I say you just have to fake it, right? You just have to, when you start out, the best thing you can do is just fake it. Smile more. That's it. Just smile more. First step. And you'll sit there like this. And you'll be like, I feel like crap still. I still want to cry and I'm still really sad. But that is so much better than sitting there with a scowl on your face or a frown or anything like that. It will feel so much better still over time, and eventually you'll start to find your natural state defaults to that smile. And when your natural state defaults to that smile, you'll start to find other things out as well, such as, oh hey, a lot more people seem to say hello to me when I'm smiling, and that makes me feel really good. There are a lot of side effects of it that aren't even what you might think. You might think it's because it's tricking yourself into thinking you're smiling, but a lot of times it's because it makes you more presentable. It makes you look like more of, of someone that's having a happy time and is happy and everything like that. And as somebody else said before in the chat, like attracts like. And when you are smiley and happy and fun, other people are like, hey, I want to hang out with the person who's smiling and happy and having fun. I want to greet that person. So even if you're sad inside, you'll find more happy moments exist around. How do we get on this topic? Who knows? Who knows? Legendary mallet, rip. One day I'll get a Schaefer's. One day. But yes, no, I have had.
Meet your death.
Thank you, Sir Sayfish.
All round.
Mwah. Kisses to you, my friend. Kisses to you. Appreciate that, bud. I have had random conversations, random but nice. They are. I have had very sad moments. I have had very sad moments for sure. When my wow, Carbo. Wow.
Happy llama, not sad llama.
Happy llama, not sad llama. Can we get some kisses to Carbo? Thank you so much, Carboluk. Thank you so much. That is very thoughtful of you. That is very kind. Very, very, very kind. I appreciate that greatly. What's going on with the fireball spec? Just for wave 2. I'm sorry, conversions, that sucks. Thank you so much, Carbo. I really appreciate that. I really do. Wow, very generous. Can I give her a quick repack? Yeah, I'll do that in a bit. But what I was gonna say, is I have had very sad moments. And I mean, I can look back, and obviously life is, you're always growing in life, and there's always various experiences that are, you know, sad at times or happy or whatever it is, right? Life's kind of a roller coaster. You have your ups and downs and stuff. But a couple of distinct points I can remember. The first one was when I was playing a lot of like Dota 2 and stuff, and some StarCraft, and this is probably like early college, I want to say. So I used to play a lot of games before and things, but I wasn't always this positive, fun gamer person. Nice, nice, found the Oculus. I love it. I love it. GG. Level 90 still haven't found it. Ouch. That's a long wait to Oculus. And I had a game where I played a person and he cheesed me. He just did a cannon rush, and it made me very upset. Made me very upset, and I yelled at the guy for it. And I said things that weren't very nice. And then at the end of it, Fireball. I don't like Nova for it. It's just not great. At the end of it, I was like, man, I don't feel any better. Like, it didn't, you know, in the moment I thought I was like having whatever, but then I had to like get off, right? It was like I had to get up and quit playing because I was so like frustrated. That's sick, Haven. That's sick. I had to get up and quit playing because I was so frustrated from the game. And I've seen that happen a lot of times. Some people play and they get so salty, so upset over the game, that they have to stop because they're so mad. And I was just like, wow. This is... Oh, Souls. Okay. I was like, wow. This is not how I want to, like, play games. I come here to play games for fun. It's my, like, relaxation time. And I don't want to be really upset about it. And so I shifted and I said, you know what? I'm going to go in and I'm going to just say GG every game. Good luck, have fun, GG, no matter what, no matter how much I hate the person, no matter how much I hate the strategy they used. I'm going to go in and I'm going to just be always a positive person because I hate it when I'm winning and somebody takes that away from me. yelling at me and getting angry and all those things. And that started making a difference in my games and how much fun I had playing video games, which then led to kind of a realization of life and you know, how I could implement that in life. Someone who struggled with depression on off for a long time, I have to say two things. What you're saying is true. I've always hated the term fake it till you make it. It never made sense. I felt like it was telling me I can't be who I am, but recently I've been seeing that it's not about being someone you aren't. It's about imagining the person you want to be and just being that today. I like that. Did I get a tick? Yay. I like that a lot. I think that's a really good way to see it. I think it's a really good way to see it. I think there's a few ways to look at it. One, love it, JDM. I think one is fake it till you make it means what you said. See where you want to be in the world and try and just pretend like you're that. Be that person today instead of waiting for the future. You can always say, oh, I'll do it later. But when you say be that person today, you can do that. I think additionally, it can be, oh my God, so slow. I think additionally, it can definitely be the see. Trying to think. I had something for how I wanted to say it. But I can't remember exactly what I was going with for it. Maybe not like who you want to be and pretending you're that person, but just being who you, putting yourself in other people's shoes, right? And trying to think about, there's a story called The Egg. I think it's called that. It's a short story. Some of you guys might have read it. And if you're really, I don't know. It's a very interesting. I can talk about that in a bit, but honestly, just be yourself and be the best stream in the category that you're in. That's my suggestion. Thanks for talking about self-stream massive mental illness resulting in hey, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Yeah. So it's got like an interesting philosophical view, and it's kind of a little different. But essentially, the way the story works is it makes you put yourself into the minds of everyone else. It's basically about reincarnation in a way. About a guy who's being reincarnated or whatever. And it's about recognizing that, like, in the story, you're reincarnated as everybody. Every single person. So whether it is Abraham Lincoln, whether it's Hitler, whether it's me, whether it's you, whether it's Raggets, whoever it is, every single person is the exact same person. And it's just you going back and living that life at a different point in time, right? And in each of those lives, you get to, it's like there's different experiences that you live through and whatever. So not playing hardcore, exactly. That's exactly right. And I think it was, when I read it, it was really great because it made me think about other people a lot more, right? Instead of walking down the street and seeing the homeless guy or the person with the mental illness or whoever it was as just that first thought, this is what that person is, or who they are or whatever it is. You thought about, why is that person in that situation? And if I am that person, why might I do something that they do, right? So somebody goes and scams me in a game, right? And instead of sitting there and hating them for scamming me in a game, trying to instead understand what in their life might have led them to that point where that's something that they are doing. Whether it's because they're feeling pain and that's some way that they, can feel better, right? They're hurting, and so they want to hurt right now to take it out on someone else. Or, if they're scamming for money, maybe they have a really difficult financial situation, right? Instead of just hating the person and being upset with them, taking the time to think about why people do what they do. And I think it's a really important exercise that a lot of people don't do. And I still probably should do more, right? And I would highly or definitely recommend people do more. Is to just think about others and think about why, and put yourself in their shoes, and stuff. And if you are that person, what sort of thing in life could have led you to get to that point, right? That's you. If you take this egg story, yes, it's by Andy Weir. If you take this story to be true, that is you. So why are you doing that? And maybe having some compassion for that person and understanding. Nobody else really knows what they're doing. That's right. Everybody is trying their best to be happy in life. Everybody is trying their best. Some people aren't succeeding at it as well. Right? Some people are finding it to be very difficult and going through maybe not the best methods to get there and things like that. But end of the day, everybody's just trying to be accepted and loved and find joy in life. Should I start Zeal or Holy Fire first? ¿Por qué no los dos? One's an aura, one is not. You're not sure you want to be happy. I would doubt it. I would doubt it. Just because I would say if you're in a mood or in a place where happiness is not appealing to you right now, I would say that is probably your mind tricking you. What if I just did a bunch of drugs to make me happy? Then you're wanting to be happy. You're just finding them in a different source. That's exactly that. Oh yeah. And I definitely think you have to be careful with goals. And I will speak about that for sure, because that has been a huge thing. I think happiness comes from the journey, right? When you are on that journey and achieving those goals or enjoying the experience, the journey, whatever it is, I think happiness is a product of that. It's not just, I will be happy. Right? Is this a new game? Like Diablo 2 as a whole? No. I'm very happy when I set a hot TP for BYD. That's true. That made me extremely happy. But let me see. Yeah, so the goals. So when I started streaming, I had goals of viewers, right? And follow numbers and things like that. And I still think it's healthy in some manner to have those goals, because I think it's fun. But what I realized, what Twitch really taught me over time, was that all of those would not lead to happiness, right? I thought, oh man, when I have 1,000 followers, oh, that would be the greatest thing ever. Oh yeah, these were goals I set a long time ago, and they just kept growing. And this is kind of the story of how it went. I mean, literally, when I started out, I was like, 100 followers would be awesome, and I got that. 500 followers would be awesome, got it. 1,000 followers would be awesome. My long-term goal was to make $500 a month from Twitch, and it wasn't even about the money, right? I was just like, streaming's a ton of fun. But wouldn't it be cool to be able to make $500 a month from streaming? I thought that would just be really cool. And I would be so happy if I could just get that from it. You know, like I said, that wasn't the only goal. I had lots of goals. I had goals on the follower numbers. I had goals on the viewer numbers. I wanted to get 100 viewers. 100 viewers was a huge thing, right? 100 viewers was a huge thing for me. And I was like, man, if I just was at 100 viewers, that would be so cool. And then I got to 100 viewers, and you know what I said? I said, man, if I just had 150 viewers, that would be so cool. Right? And this, it wasn't right. And I realized over time, because it was 50 viewers, then 150 viewers, then it was 200, 250, then it was 5, you know. And it just was, I would sit there, and I realized that no matter whatever it was, as soon as I got there, my eyes were just on the next goal. And like I said, I think it's good to have goals. I think it's good to have goals for sure. But you have to be careful to not derive your happiness from those, right? I don't set goals now and say, oh, okay, if I had this viewership, I'll be happy. That is the incorrect way that I found to look at it. Because when I try to do that, you lose sight of everything, and your eyes are always on the future. And it's not so much about, you know, everybody who's there. Exactly, like you said, living in the moment with the people who are there, having the time, spending the time with them. It all just becomes about this future, this next goal, this next step. And, you know, and you just can't be in that. You just can't be in that sort of mindset. It may be okay, and like I say, it's good from a business perspective. I want to grow my stream. I want to make better events. I want to have more fun with you guys. And so if events are more successful, I want to do those events more, or whatever it is, right? Like, but that's not where happiness comes from. And I found the same thing with, you know, with just like finances and things like that. It was like, oh man, if I just had, you know, $5,000 in the bank, then I'd be happy. If I just had $10,000 saved up, then I'd be really happy, whatever it was. And yet every single time that I would hit a goal like that, I realized that I was never happy from that. It might have brought me very brief happiness. Yay! Yay, I got my, you know, $5,000 savings goal set. Now what? Well, now I want $10,000 in my bank. Like, that's it. It doesn't bring you happiness, right? Money does not equal happiness. This is the, like, age-old saying. But like, I really, like, saw it from Twitch and from the viewerships and followers and viewers and all that stuff. I finished at like 4 a.m. I think. I was like, wow, there really is something to be said for it. Angelics. There really is something to be said for it, because it doesn't, you know. And I once again, it doesn't mean it's bad to have goals. A lot of people sit there and they're like, Mr. Llama, why are you like hating on goals here? I think it's really good to have goals. I do too. I think it's great to have goals. I think having goals is a wonderful thing. But once again, I don't think happiness comes from it. You won't be happy just because you have $10,000. Or you won't be happy just because you have that house. A lot of people they're like, oh, I won't be happy until I move into my new house or whatever it is. And I just don't believe it. I think you get there and you grow accustomed to it. And it's the hedonic treadmill, right? Where you come right back. Your happiness sits at this level. And all those things, it might be a temporary spike. You buy your house. Woohoo! I'm happier now for a quick moment. And now you're back. And now you're back to reality. And all of a sudden, that's your house. And that's just what it is. And after, a couple weeks, yeah, this is my house. And so trying to find happiness in things, trying to find it in money, or trying to have it in whatever stuff. How did I lose my ticks? I died. I died, Rip. Yo, Grim Reaper. Mwah. Thank you for the sub. I appreciate that. All that stuff. Man. Ooh. I'm saying you should all be hobos. Yes. No. That is not quite what I'm saying. So much red. Dolls, stay away. Yeah. That's exactly right, Mithril. There's nothing wrong with money. There's nothing wrong with wanting a house, with wanting things of that nature. But when you say I won't be happy until, I think that's where the issues arise. I think that's where the issues arise, and that's where people struggle to find a lot of happiness.
I am overburdened.
So, and I talk about it because, yeah, I won't be happy until I find every item. You know what's going to happen when I find every item in this game? I'm going to be like, all right. And I'll be happy for a little bit. And then things will go back to normal. I found Tyrell's Might. You know how happy I was when I found Tyrell's Might? I was ecstatic. And now life's back to normal. And it's fun. And I have a fun little memory. But I tried to derive my happiness on just finding Tyrell's Might. Wouldn't work, man. Temporary joy. That's it. Yeah, you showed us your nips. I was that happy at the time. That's right. I won't be happy till I see some more nips. See, I can't give you the nips because then I'm just feeding into that. It's not. That's why. How often do I watch my Tyrell's Might video? I don't watch it. I don't watch it. I remember what it was like. Little bagel grandchildren about finding Tyrells. I will probably. I will. So happy you proposed. Shh. Person level. Yeah. Oh yeah, you gotta find what's happy for you. You gotta find what's happy for you, man. Totally on that. Hey Josh, how you doing? How do we achieve legit happiness? So I mean, I will literally walk you through. I mean, literally the two. That's where I started today. I died, so that's why my experience is in a rough spot. I will tell you my two examples. Cause I love talking about these things. Ooh, Dusk Shroud. Hooray! What is it? Blaze. Trash. It's never a good one. Never a good one. So the first one, like I said, was when I was back in college and whatever, I'm playing games, and I got really upset. I got really upset with games. Do I have a Blaze already? I have a Firewall, Inferno. All right, add it to my collection of trash. But yeah, so the first time I was playing video games, and like I said, I was getting really mad. I was getting really angry. I thought I would be happy when I hit Grandmaster, or when I hit Master first, and then when I hit Top 8 Master, and then when I hit Grandmaster. And I was always chasing further. I was always chasing further in the game. Is that not a new item? No. All of the Dust Shrouds are only counted as one item in the game files. And then... and so I would BM people, you know, when I would lose, and I'd go on losing streaks, and I'd get really upset, and I was BMing and whatever, right? Wasn't great. And so I literally stepped back and I said, I'm not going to play video games again without only being good-mannered. I said, I'm not going to play video games again without only being good-mannered, because I don't like who I am when I'm playing these games. I'm not having a fun time, and I'm being mean to people, and then I have to go cool off. And nobody has fun when they're being upset with somebody. Nobody has fun.
I am overburdened.
Right? Like, you think you do. You might temporarily be like, yeah, oh, I told them, whatever, so fun. But, like, you're upset. Like, you're yelling and angry and upset and whatever. And even if at the end you feel smug about it, I don't think it's, you know, I don't know. I don't think you're actually having a good time. How do you Twitch Prime subscribe on mobile? I do not know. I do not know. It might not be functionality yet, honestly. But it's okay. I just appreciate you being here. But yeah, so I said I'm not going to come back until I'm the most positive person that plays games. Thank you, Graham. Appreciate that. So I came back, and that's exactly what I did. I said, Galek, have fun. I said, GG at the end of every game, win or lose. And sure, it was hard sometimes. And sure, sometimes I was angry, and I'd have somebody who would just cannon rush me over and over again, whatever it was, and I'd get frustrated. But I never let the negativity win in those cases, right? Even if I was faking it, even if I was actually mad, even if I was sitting there and I was like, I hate you, I would type GG. That's it. And then I would leave the game. And by not spreading that negativity, I would feel better about myself. I didn't start taking positivity meds, no. I did not. But by doing that and starting to spread the positivity, I started to feel a lot better. And I started to become the person that I wanted to be. Even if I wasn't that, you know, I at least was able to start seeing that. You know, I was able to start seeing that. And yeah, I died, Ray. That's what happened. And after that, after I started seeing it, I started becoming a more positive gamer. Because that was something that I started to become proud of. Was that I'm a positive gamer. Even though I wasn't before, right? I was not a positive gamer when I first started gaming. And for many years. And I would get angry and yell at people and whatever, right? The standard Twitch chatter of Arteezy's stream or whatever, right? Like, I was not a part, but then I started faking it, and then I started liking who the fake me was, and it became the real me. And so now, that's what I am. Now I'm a positive gamer, and I haven't raged at a game in a long time. I mean, you see me go, ah, darn it. If I like die on a hardcore character, I'd be like, ah, or like today I died on this character. You know, it's like, sure, but that's fine for me. But yeah, I became proud of the person that I was pretending to be, which was a positive person, or the person I always wanted to be. And from that, I was able to grow into a positive person. And that's where I say fake it until you make it. Be who you want to be. Be that person. Am I just faking it though? No. No, I'm a very positive person. Now I don't curse in real life very much at all. I'm generally as positive as I can in every situation because I have found a lot of that. When is my self-help book tour happening? Yeah, that's coming up next. So buy now, 1999. Mr. Llama's no. D2 life lessons. That's right. That's right. Oh, you found Grey Farm? Nice. It is a rare normal item. I do not see it often at all. At least because I'm always in hell farming it. Did my personality change before streaming or during streaming? Both. So I'll actually give the streaming example now as well. So when I started streaming, I was already at that point where I was being a positive person. I was already at that point where I'd realized I like being really positive. So if you go back to my first streams, you'll see a similar personality in that regard.
I am overburdened.
Somewhere that I hadn't quite changed. What's the title gonna be? Dr. Respect. The journey of a Twitch streamer. No, but the part that hadn't quite changed was I hadn't quite found how I could make myself happy in life. Dang, Ubu, are you serious? That's crazy. I still have blink bats to find. So, and this came from when I had my breakup with ex-Mrs. Llama. I'm playing a game built around killing the devils. This is like getting rid of your demons. How about that? I'm talking about getting rid of your demons while getting rid of the demons. You found a Bisco's collar? Sick! Nice, Ronnie. The red line I experienced bar, it's to show where I started today. I died earlier, so I lost some. Stream your way to a better you. Ooh, that's good. That's good. But it came from my breakup with ex-Mrs. Llama. So when that happened, I was very sad because I had put a lot of my joy and happiness and whatever into that relationship, right? Which you shouldn't. You shouldn't do that. You should find your own happiness. But I had kind of done the thing where I said, because I'm with Mrs. Llama, I am happy. I wasn't married now. I should just call her ex-Miss Llama. Or something of that nature. But we've been dating for a while, and I was very much into the idea of getting married in the future. And so I'd put a lot into that idea. And then when that all came crashing down, we were together for a little over 2 years. When that all ended, I was very sad. I was very, very, very sad. And you could probably tell it from my streams. I tried to still stay positive and be a positive person. But I was definitely sad in that time. No, it's a happy story. It's a happy story. And from that, though, I started to find that I had to change my happiness, right? Before I had kind of dated a lot of people, and that, so I'd bounced around. Did the negativity contribute to the breakup? I don't think the negativity did, because I was more positive by that point. I think there were other factors, though. I think the streaming and the time and my general outlook on life, or my inability to quite bring myself happiness in some ways did. We'll get to that. Hey, thanks, Anti. Check the rare mythical sword. You want to see if it's Eth? Or you just want to see if it's got, like, Fool's mods? Trash. But yeah, so getting back to it. So I was very sad after the breakup. And I thought to myself, I just need to go find someone else to date. And that'll be great. But every time that I went to go sign up for a dating site or whatever it was, I realized that it was just like trying to find another Band-Aid kind of, right? Wizzy. And I was like, I don't need a Band-Aid for this. I need to, like, fix the root of the problem. Which is, if Bad Girl's listening, that's fine. I don't care. And so I thought, I need to figure out a little bit more about who I am and what I like. Because I had been very much about saving money, right? I was very big on, like, gotta save that money, right? So that way I can grow up and be a streamer and retire and stream. So I had goals, and I was all about that. Llama life lessons. Live, laugh, love. Llama life lessons. I like it. Got saved on llamas. But I had goals of I wanted to go stream. I was very vocal about those goals. And in the process, though, I wasn't saving a lot. Or I was saving a lot, but I wasn't doing a lot, right? And from not doing a lot, I ended up missing out on what, was probably a couple of years or a few years of experiences because I didn't want to spend any money to go do anything like that. And so I wrote a post called Build the Life That You Want and Then Save For It. Oh, that's beautiful, Mithril. I like that a lot. I wrote a post called Build the Life That You Want and Then Save For It. And basically what I talked about was my experience there, right? Yo, Worthy Gamer. Mwah, kisses to you. Thank you so much for that sub. I appreciate that. And in that post, I talked about my experience and how I had saved up some money, but I wasn't happier from having that saved. And the breakup was a great way to realize that, because the breakup was a great way to realize that I was still really sad even though I had been saving money for a couple of years, and that I would have rather had spent some of that money and gone and had nice experiences, nice putter, than just had that money sitting around. And that was a very big point for me because I realized that I couldn't just, it's not programmed for this character, sorry. I realized that I wasn't going to just find happiness sitting around and saving money and then one day being, oh, okay, well now I can be happy because I have X dollars, whatever it is. This was a long time ago, Creed. This is a long time ago. Darn it, I missed it. And so that was a big point for me, was to realize that and that it's important to build the life that you want to live and be the person that you want to be today, and then start figuring out how to get to that point in your life in the future. X makes the view count not count. Huh. Interesting. Hey, double chain booties. And so it was one of those things where I realized that I need to go and figure out what I want to do in my life, right? What do I want to do? I want to stream. And for me, there were a lot of things I didn't know if I wanted to do because I hadn't done a lot of experiences. So that's why I tried out scuba diving. I tried out skiing. I tried out doing these different things because I wanted to see, are these things that I think would be nice, that I think would be potentially interesting. And then, once I have that, then I can start saving for that life. Okay, I want to stream. What do I need to save so I can start streaming? What do I need to do for all these things? Thank you, Grim. And through that, I started building that life that I wanted, and being the person that I wanted to be in the future, who was someone that was adventurous and would take risk and think outside the box and stuff like that. Ticked again. Sick. We're getting there, boys. We're getting there slowly but surely. And I started doing something where I would go to a restaurant and I would order whatever food was recommended to me. I would say, waiter, bring me whatever you like. Don't tell me what it is. I have no allergies. And I want to try what you really like. And just like things like that, it was changing who I was. And I didn't always have a clear picture, but it was changing. I said, you know what? I'm somebody who used to be picky. I'm somebody who used to be afraid of sharks and going underwater. I'm someone who used to think he would hate skiing because it's cold out. Anything that I had built up as some preconceived notion, I went and Hey, appreciate that, Carbo. I hope you're feeling better, man. I said anything that freaks me out. So scared of sharks. I went and scuba dived next to sharks. I have like 5. I went and dove 12 times in one trip. And I think on 5 of the dive trips, I was next to sharks. And it's a way, yeah, sometimes you can get them to bring their near-dated food. But a lot of times, if you talk to them actually at the restaurant, if you actually talk to them, you say, hey, I really want to try your favorite thing on the menu. A lot of times you'll get them to actually bring you their favorite thing. But, anyways, getting back to it. But I started changing who I was because I wanted to adjust who I was because I didn't like who I was at the time. I didn't like that I couldn't make myself happy at the time. And that I was sitting there and I thought that I needed to be dependent on this ex-girlfriend to feel happiness. And I was very sad for a long time. And I started going through these experiences, and I mean, I thought about Miss Llama for a lot of the days, right? I mean, anything and everything would bring my mind back to her. Oh, Runestaff. Why you gotta do that to me? Why you gotta tease me like that? Oh. Oh, Runestaff, why you do this? Why you do this? And I was very sad at first, right? For a long time, I was very sad with it. She wasn't my wife, but she was somebody that I intended on marrying. And then I thought, you know, I'm just going to keep doing these things. So I went, and I remember I went out to a place in, like, West Virginia and Harper's Ferry, right? If any of you guys know it. I went out there for, like, a little cabin trip. And I went skiing, and I went scuba diving, and I went out with my friend to go, like, ghost hunting or something that he wanted to do. Just all sorts of random things like that. Nice nut, Chervell. And the whole time I had to put a fake smile on. Because I was still very sad. But what I noticed was the more that I did these things and the more that I put my fake smile on, the more of these fun activities and activities where I went and explored and pushed myself to do new things, whether it's cliff diving or whatever it was, the more that I realized that I was just becoming a happier person overall. Without even having to think about it or try. Ghost hanging with a camcorder. I took some pictures of it. Of this supposed ghost. Probably wasn't a real ghost, but, you know, whatever. It was fun. And the more things that I did, the more things that I wanted to go do, because the more I realized that, like, I am responsible for my happiness, right? I am responsible for myself and myself alone. Just like you're responsible for yourself, and you're responsible for yourself, and Miss Llama is responsible for herself, and Big Girl is responsible. Everybody's responsible for themselves. And then beyond that, you figure it out from there. You know? Except for kids. Oh yes, this is pre-kids. Once you have kids, you're now responsible for your children as well. Yeah, Posh. Once you have kids, you're now responsible for the kids. This is pre-kids. But even before you can be responsible for kids, before you can really love someone else, you must love yourself. You must learn to love yourself and treat yourself with respect and give yourself what you need. It's Death Fathom. That is extremely important and should not be overlooked at all. I think a lot of people rush into kids as well because they're looking for that happiness. They're looking for that happiness. And they think, oh, if I just get married, oh, if I just have kids, oh, if I just buy the house, oh, if I just get to this life, then I will be happy. But those things are not the things. Do kids bring happiness? Sure. But not in a way of the kid brings happiness. I think kids bring a lot of understanding that it gives to you, and responsibility, and things that make you realize that you need to make sure you're in a good spot so you can be a happier person. Things like that. So, only without kids say they bring happiness. Right, I don't have kids, so my kids talk, I cannot give a kids talk. I cannot give a kids talk, really. I can only talk from personal experience on non-kid related topics.
I am overburdened.
Kids are monsters. Probably also true. Where my ghost release runs? To get... Right now I want to get my experience back, but I want to find every item in the game. That's the ultimate goal of it. Where are some of the most expensive items in Diablo these days? Well, right now you're going to find Enigma and stuff. Anything to get an MF character up is pretty important on ladder at the moment, because everybody wants to get Magic Find going. I went and studied computer science in school. But Java was the main language that my school taught. But I also learned some like Python and things like that. So, long story short, I wrote another post, and I think this sums it up. Well, as long story short, I wrote a post, and it's called "Wherever You Go, There You Are." And basically, I mean, I've studied C# and stuff, but that wasn't taught at my university really. But basically, what it just looks at, or the total sum of it, is that you have to spend the most time of every single person that you will ever meet in your life. There is nobody you will spend more time with than yourself. This is a guaranteed fact. This is a guaranteed fact. No matter how much time you spend with anybody else, you will never spend more time than with yourself. So you kind of need to like who you are, in a way, right? Except for Siamese twins. Fair point. But that's kind of yourself, in a way. It's a weird dynamic to add in there. So if you have to spend if somebody told you had to spend the rest of your life with somebody, like literally every single second for the rest of your life with somebody else. I died today, Cody, yeah. Would you go, well, oh well. Or would you hope or work or whatever to make sure that that person is somebody you like? And you have that ability because you get to choose. You have that ability. You get to choose who that person is because it's you. So if you don't like who you are, change who you are. I didn't like who I was at the time. I didn't like that I wasn't adventurous, wasn't having experiences. Yes, I was still doing things like being, you know, there were parts of me I liked for sure.
Your death.
Yeah, movie bear.
Hey Llama,
Mwah.
hearing this from you is very
Kisses.
nice, and I just wanted to remind you that you have a positive effect on people, so I want to repay the favor.
Hey,
Thanks for the stream and for the positive attitude. Inspirational.
thank you so much, movie bear. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That means a lot. That really does. Yeah, last experience today. But you have to spend 24/7. And if you don't like who that person is, it doesn't have to be every factor, every single aspect of that person. Well, you're just out of luck, BYD. But it doesn't have to be every single, every single element. You don't have to change who you are entirely. But look at the parts you don't like. What didn't I like at first? I didn't like that I was a negative person. I didn't like when I was negative. So I changed that. I said, all right, I'm not going to be negative anymore. From now on, I'm going to act positive. Even if I don't always feel positive, I'm going to act positive. And from that, I became a more positive person. Later on, after the breakup, I realized I didn't like that I was not experiencing life. I didn't like that I was scared of things. That I was missing out on experiences because I didn't want to spend money on them. Or because I was afraid of sharks or whatever it was. Right? And so I just went and started doing anything. And I removed all those fears and challenged them. And just went with it. Whatever it is that you don't like about yourself, challenge it. And you have to actually work at it. Because it's so easy to look at it and go, it'd be nice. But that's a lot of work. That's really hard. Or maybe next time. I went to this Asian restaurant. And because I was doing the thing where I was trying all foods, right? I would just go ask the waiter, whatever it was. The waiter would come to me and they'd say, hey, or I'd say, hey, I want you to bring me whatever it is that's on your menu. Whatever item that you love the most, I want to experience that item. I don't want you to tell me what it is. I just want you to bring it out. And that's fine. I don't have allergies. Whatever it is, please do that. And I was doing that. And then I went to, and I still do that a lot of times today. And then I went to this one place. And it was like this Vietnamese place. And on their menu, they had things like fish with the eyeballs still in. And all sorts of weird things. It looked like they smelled interesting. And I was sitting there and I was like, maybe today I'll just say, oh, okay, I'll just get the chicken fried rice or something, right? I was like, there were so many different things. Thanks, Broken. There's so many different options on there that I was like, maybe not. And then I thought to myself, if I make this excuse today, I'll make this excuse the next time. And the whole point of this is to challenge myself in these moments. When I'm fearful, when there's anything like that, to challenge myself on it and say, no, I'm going to try it, right? That was my point. I wanted to be more adventurous. I wanted to experience more things. And so I needed to go and just say, bring me whatever it is. And if that was a fish with the eyeball, I would give it a shot. And if I didn't like it, what's the worst that happens? I don't like it. Cool. All right. That's the end of that. Right? Not a big deal. Not a big deal. And so I didn't make exceptions for it. And from that, I found a lot more joy and a lot more strength, I guess, and everything, and a lot more happiness overall. Because I was able to say, hey, I can do that. And I did it. And then the next time, it was easier, right? And then when I went to Costa Rica. It's Costa Rica. Yeah, I went to Cancun, sorry. I went to Cancun. And we went out to the cenote, and they had a cliff to go, dive off of or whatever. Everybody was scared about it. And I was like, by that point, I had been doing so many of these things. I was like, screw it. Let's go jump off the cliff. And so I just went and I jumped off the cliff. And that was it. And it was fine. And just every experience and every fear, did I die? I did die. But no, every single fear that I had, that I have faced, has made me slightly less fearful of anything else. They've all worked out. They've all been, it was always in my head, it was way worse than it actually was. At the end of the day, I just sat there and was like, huh. The more I challenged fears, the less fears I had. You know? And I think it's a very important thing to challenge your fears. And it made me want to challenge myself in other ways. Everything like that. So. And now I don't know what I'm afraid of. Maybe Bagel Girl when she's angry. Just kidding. You know, like now I could have named so many fears to you before. 2 years ago, year and a half ago. Did I remember to pick up my corpse? Yes, I did. I could have named so many fears to you before. And now it's really hard. Spiders. Spiders are scary. But you know what? If there was some sort of, like, fear factor thing, whatever, go sit in a pool of spiders, I would do it. I would do it. Just to go do it. Just to challenge that fear. BYD. That's true. That is one. Running zombies? Well, everybody has that fear. Does Bagel Girl get angry? I mean, not angry, you know. She's a normal human being, though. We all have our moments of frustration and stuff. So, yeah. So, I don't know. End of all that. Oops. That's, I know a lot of people in the gaming community struggle with mental, you know, just health issues in some capacity. And there's a big struggle there. And, quiet, angry. So scary. And so I want to talk about this stuff. And obviously, when you're happy and when you're in a good place, you want to make others happy, right? And now I'm in a better place and I'm feeling better. And so I want to make other people happy as well. And that's something that I have also really seen. It's getting kind of scary in there. That's also something that I've seen is there's never been a person. Yo, Bojangas. Thank you for the sub. Welcome to Llamas the Round. There's never been a happy person that has wanted to bring somebody else down. You aren't happy and also at the same time wanting other people to hurt. That's not what happy people do. When you're happy, you want other people to be happy. When you're sad and you're angry, you want other people to be sad and angry, right? Like misery loves company, that whole thing. If I can't be happy, nobody can. That's very true. And that's helped with my perspective thing, like we talked about before, changing the perspective. I found that other people, anybody I've met who has been really angry, if I, instead of get angry back at them and instead treat them with love and happiness, it is amazing how much of one, an effect I can have on their life and their mood at the time. But two, how much I realize and how true it is that, yeah, they were actually just angry and upset. Unexpected first for Arcanes. That never happens. Stereo pop-ups happen more than that. I had a soccer game. Anger does leave the dark side. I had a soccer game, and I was on a breakaway, and one of the defenders came up from behind me on my breakaway and swiped my legs out from behind. And the ref blew his whistle, and I was like, great. Like, that's a red card. Guy's out of the game, and, you know, like, that's how it should go. because he did an illegal move, right? That's not allowed. That's an automatic red card. It's how it is. And the ref came up, and he turned to me, and he gave me a yellow card, and he said, that's for diving. And let me tell you, I did not dive. I definitely, like, my legs just got swiped out from under me. So I got really mad. I got really upset. Because I was like, are you serious? Like, that's red card to him. What are you talking about? And he was like, no diving. And he, like, walked off. And so I went to my team and I said, pull me out of the game. There's actually a red card. Nice. I went to my team and I said, pull me out of the game. I need to get out. Like, I need to get away and cool off for a minute because I am very upset. Like, I was very pissed. So I went out of the game and I sat on the sidelines. And I was just thinking about what I was going to say to the ref or what I was going to do to the other player. Whatever it was, you know, if I was going to go, like, knock him down or something. Get my revenge. And I didn't know. And, like, a minute later, timeout came. And one of my teammates was tired. And so he went to get called out. And they all were like, hey, you're up. Alex, go ahead. Go play, right? Go do whatever you're going to do. And I think they thought I was going to go and cheap shop the guy. Or something. And at this point, I did not know what I was going to do. I was very, very frustrated. And this was in the early stages for sure. But I did not know what I was going to do. And so I ran out and I ran up to the ref. And I still did not know what I was going to do. And I ran at the ref and I got to him and he was in a defensive stance. And I put my hand out and I shook his hand. And I said, hey, maybe I did dive back there and didn't quite realize it. You know, just want to say I appreciate you reffing the game. I know it's tough. And instantly, he went from this defensive stance, ready to argue and yell and throw me out of the game, to suddenly going, oh no, man, like, I probably missed that. You're probably right. Like, you know, I didn't get a good look at it. And, you know, you probably weren't diving, but I couldn't get a good see on it. And that's just what I thought I saw. I'm really sorry about that. Like, you know. And that was that. And we shook hands. And all of a sudden, I wasn't angry anymore. He wasn't angry anymore. Nobody was angry. And the game just continued. And I thought to myself, wow. I had so much power in that situation. Yeah, I went, aha, I knew it. You were wrong. No, I just said, hey, it happens. But I realized how much power I had in my life. In that situation, I could have taken that situation and escalated it into this giant blow-up fight where I was getting super mad and yelling at him and I got thrown out, and then I could go back and say, this was BS. This ref was so stupid, whatever. He kicked me out of the game for no reason after he gave me a yellow card, yada, yada, yada. I could have made that situation that, or I could have made that situation a situation like it was, where we shook hands and everybody was fine. And the amount of power that you have in these situations is amazing. And it's just like Oral says. It's like when somebody cuts you off on the road. You can drive up on that person. You can try and go cut them off yourself. You can rage at them. You can cause this whole scene, get them upset, get yourself upset, and just be this angry person. Or you can say, hey, I forgive you. Hey, maybe you have somewhere really important to be. Maybe your wife's having a baby. I don't know your situation. Nice story, even though there was no violence. Sorry. But the amount of control you have over situations is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And a lot of people, I think, don't realize that. They look at it and they say, well, guy cut me off. I had to get angry. The referee made this terrible call. Of course I was going to blow up at him, and it's reasonable. And other people say, yeah, that's reasonable. I would have done the same thing, whatever it is. and then you just accept it. And at that point, you're not changing it, and you're remaining that negative person who gets angry, who has all of those, and right, all those moments. And you say, I don't know why I'm feeling sad and angry and stuff like this. And it's just, you just got to change your mindset. You just got to change and remember, everybody's trying their best. Everybody's trying your best in the world. Or their best in the world. Nice reverse. And, yeah. And I had one other situation. Let me think. What was it from? I have not Infamous. I have not. For sure, Fly, for sure. Oh, yeah. I was going to talk about people on my YouTube and in my Discord and people I have just encountered through streaming. Because I get the YouTube comments. Hi, YouTube, by the way. I get the YouTube comments. Somebody who says, wow, you are a terrible person. What a stupid stream. You're not even good. Go die. Whatever it is, right? You have people that are mean on the YouTube sometimes. And there's two ways that you can engage these people. The first way, of course, is to engage them in a negative way. Oh, you should see some of the YouTube comments I get. They're wonderful. By wonderful, I mean they're terrible, right? But you have a lot of people who will sit there and flame you. And it's very obvious that they are having a hard time themselves. It's not spoiled YouTube kids. It's people that are having a hard time. And when they're having a hard time, it's the misery loves company. They are looking to get it out in some way. What better place on the internet? Yo, Switch One. Mwah. What I consider banter negative? I mean, it's all the intent and the tone and you know, I mean, it's fun to sometimes like banter with somebody as long as you're not trying to actually be hurtful and they aren't perceiving it that way. Right, there's trolls on the internet. But trolls on the internet are just people who are not feeling great about themselves. And so you can either sit there and you can argue back and say, you're stupid. No, you're an idiot. You don't understand what being a Diablo 2 player is like, or whatever it is that you want. I don't know. Or you can just take it the other way. Like I did with the referee where you go up to him. I don't have subscriber here. No hyping. What? What are you talking about, Sensei? Oh, no hyping for the sub? There you go. There's some hearts. Or you can take it the other way. And you can treat them with love. Because that's what everybody wants in this world, is to be loved. And literally to those messages, when people send me those hateful messages, I just write back, hey man, I'm sorry that you're having a bad day. I hope you feel better. Simple as that. It isn't anything complex. I don't write them a novel. I don't tell them why they should improve or fix or change who they are or anything like that. I just say, hey, I hope you're having a good day. Hope you feel better, man. Or girl, whichever it is. And you would be shocked at the number of people that come back after that and reply and say, hey man, I'm so sorry about that. I really didn't mean those things that I said. I was just having a really bad day and I needed somewhere to take it out. And your channel is just where I happen to land on. I like your content. Think you're a great person, whatever it is, yada, yada, yada. I appreciate, you know, your things, whatever it is. And seeing that is always so amazing to me. Not because I'm like, wow, I helped a person have a better day. Right? It's not anything that I sit there and I take as like this big pride point that I can share and show off. I'm not trying to do this to show off, but I'm trying to say it is amazing what sort of effect you can have on somebody with just giving love, right? Just being thoughtful. Even when they come at you with anger. When they come at you with anger, They're coming at you with anger because they're not feeling good about themselves. How do I reply? I just said, I say, I'm sorry. I hope you have a better day, man. I did give up on the member stream last night. I felt it was important. One, I was behind Teo by a decent chunk, and I knew it would take a while to get through. But also, I felt it was important to give some attention to Bagel Girl, who had been so thoughtful and so kind to come up from Anver's stream and spend time there. I'm glad, little llama. I'm glad.
Fresh.
Good night. Good night. Yo, Evil, thank you so much for the sub. Mwah. Kisses to you. Hearts in the chat. But, yeah. So spread that. Spread that. And recognize Messi or Ronaldo. Probably more of a Messi guy. Realize the impact that you can have in people's lives without even realizing it. Just by being positive. Such as, hopefully, being positive here. It was a very tough one, Switch one. It was a very tough one. Hopefully being positive here has positive impacts for you guys. But when people meet you with anger and frustration and things like that, if you just turn it around and instead give them love back, it's amazing how many of them will fold. And you'll suddenly see the true intentions as they suddenly are like, oh no, I actually did want love. I wasn't looking to fight. I thought I was looking to fight. But the second you gave me love, I realized I didn't want to fight anymore. That's not what I was here for. I just wanted somebody to listen. Yeah, it's an extension that shows my gear when I'm doing runs. You're from Argentina, but you prefer Ronaldo? Yeah, that's fair, man. Love who you want to love. It doesn't work with 1.13. Hope you do, Movie Bear. I hope it makes you feel better when you need it. Thanks, Mariano. So, I think that covers a majority of the stuff. What would I be proud of doing in the future? It's true. An important thing I like to think of is you have to think not just of your current self, but you have to think of your past self and your future self. Past Mr. Llama, cows, Trav, places like that. Past Mr. Llama is a friend of mine. And I need to think about what did past Mr. Llama need? But I also have to think about what does present Mr. Llama need and what does future Mr. Llama need? Such as, if I look right now, if I look at myself 3 years ago, this is before I started going and having any experiences. Llama of the Christmas past, that's right. If I went and looked at, before I started having those experiences, and I look at that Mr. Llama, I look back and I say to that Mr. Llama, I wish you would have spent a little bit more money and time focusing on doing things and sharing experiences with Mrs. Llama at that time, as opposed to just trying to save money and living in fear of a lot of things and not going out and doing a lot. So this is my current self. Past me thought current Mr. Llama would have been like, no, keep saving that money. But now I look back and I'm like, oh no, he actually would have wanted me to have fun experiences. I wish that he had had more fun experiences. And so I can take that and I can apply it again. And I say, what do I think future me will wish that current me had? What do I think future me wishes current me would have done? Do I wish that I would have, gone on more dates? Do I wish that I would have spent more time streaming? What do I wish current me would have wished future me had done? And once you do that, You gotta just treat yourself with respect. You gotta treat your current self with respect. Your future self with respect. That's why I don't spend all my money. I still save money. Because future me, I wish that, you know, I don't want to spend all my money and then in the future look back and go, oh, I wish I would have saved some money. So I want to be respectful of future me, but at the same time recognize that, you know, I wanted to treat myself a little bit. Exactly. Like I said, just enough is enough and bought a vape. Worked and I barely even used that. So you'll stop that as well. That's great. That's great. You just got to make this decision. And just forgive yourself as well. Forgive yourself as well, you know. We all make mistakes. We all don't do things perfectly. Past Alex wasn't perfect. Present Alex isn't perfect, and future Alex won't be perfect either. And that's fine. But you just gotta accept that you're trying your best. Everybody is just trying their best in life. Nobody is trying to not have a good life. If it seems like they are, they're probably hurting a lot. And maybe showing them a little bit of love could go a long way. So that's Positivity Talks with Mr. Llama. Just heard my first name for the first time.